divine light of the self. I welcome all of you for today's satsang. The topic today is about fire of wisdom, Jnanagni. The fire of wisdom is the topic for today. So let us understand the fire of wisdom in the light of teaching of Swami Vidyaranya. We have heard many stories of enlightenment and liberation. We get surprised by many stories how enlightenment can happen. Take the story of Sri Ramana Maharshi. At the age of 18, he had a death experience. Then he got a wisdom and went to Tiruvannamalai, meditated for many years. Then he became an enlightened sage, Ramana Maharshi. No further teaching, no teaching, nothing, no upasana, nothing is done. Just did it. So we wonder, how did he get jnana? How did he get wisdom? How did he get enlightenment? It all appears like a sudden. Is it sudden? What we see is sudden. But what we don't see is previous lives, many lifetimes of sadhana which he has done, spiritual practice he has done, which has purified him and made him remain ready for jnana. So Ramana Maharshi went through a death experience. Some of us go through extreme difficulties in life, painful situations, painful experiences. That can be like a death experience, can wake up. In fact, suffering is a blessing. When God's grace is on you, intense suffering can help you to wake up. It's like when somebody is sleeping, call his name, he don't wake up. Go and slap him, he'll wake up. So sudden shaking for us is required in life. That's a wake-up call that can help many people. In case of Ramana Maharshi, death experience also a wake-up call. For us, we may not have to go through death experience. We may have to go through some difficult circumstances in life. That can be an experience which can wake up. So please understand, the waking up happens when the suffering is intense. Waking up happens when we face difficulty. Good circumstance in life is like a drug, alcoholic. We won't bother at all about life. The difficult circumstances wakes up the divinity in us. The new energy gets released. That's the importance of Ramana Maharshi's life. Also, Ramana Maharshi, he got enlightened when he engaged 18. And that is because of his previous life sadhana, he got enlightened. He has done everything. So some of the people who study Vedanta, Jagat is Mithya, I am Brahman, all those their illusions they start living. Okay? The Jagat is Mithya, Brahman is Satya is reality. But associate practice of Vasanakshaya, Manonasha has to be with Dana. That's what Vidyaranya is saying. So Dana alone will be dry. With Upasana, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana will shine with the three things, which is that Vasanakshaya, Manonasha, and Atmadnana. They start coming as a package. So Ramana Maharshi, what happened to Ramana Maharshi? Where did he do Karma Yoga? He did. All those things he has done in his life, past life itself, Upasana and all. He is ready, ripe. So a ripe soul, the moment he gets jnana, in one experience or one teaching, he'll be already wise. Whereas most of the people require three types of practices: Manonasha, Vasanakshaya, and then Atmadnana together. Atmano mokshartham jagatitaya should be way of life for most of the people. That's for common people. So there are many stories in Upanishads. One of the stories is of story of Rishi Vamadeva. Vamadeva Rishi, as a child, in the mother's womb, he got enlightened. I wish my mother is like that, or my somebody. Ramana Vamadeva Rishi's father was teaching, and Vamadeva Rishi got enlightened in his mother's womb. What kind of mother and father we have? It's not about your mother and father problem. It is a Purvajanama Samskara. Vamadeva Rishi learned everything in early life. He was just ripe soul, getting teaching. Born in such a mother's womb and father's womb was a blessing for him, because father was teaching Atmadana, he got it. This good karma has brought him to that parents. Okay. So we ignore the role of karma in our life. We ignore the role of upasana and karma yoga in our sadhana. It should not be true. Vasanakshaya, manonasha, and atmadnana, or what we call as tattva-dnana, should go together. That's what Swami Vidyananda is teaching. They help each other. They're supportive of each other. We have heard story of other stories also. Story of Janak Raja. Janak Raja getting enlightened with the teaching of Ashtavakra. Ashtavakra got enlightened as a young child, hearing the teaching of father. He was completely body deformed. 8 types of deformity in the body. So which says your body disease or body deformity has nothing to do with the enlightenment. Your karma, which has made you mature, is sufficient to give you jnana. His bad karma of Ashtavakra gave him a body which is deformed. But his good karma had prepared him for jnana, and listening to the teachings of his father, he was able to find out discrimination right and wrong, and he was able to tell his father in the mother's womb that you are doing wrong. So that enlightenment is because of result of good karma, vasanakshaya, which has happened in past life. Now it's ready. Bad karma came in the form of deformed body. All of us are a combination of good and bad karma. In fact, the good and bad karma, they support us to the evolution. It's not the bad karma is suffering. Bad karma suffering is required for our evolution. That's why Buddha went through intense suffering before he got enlightened. It's called Maya. He called Maya. Maya attacking him. Jesus Christ went through many days of suffering called dark night of the soul. So do not be afraid of suffering. Suffering is a way of nature helping us. Childbirth is painful because some important thing is happening. Suffering is important. Suffering, you have to give a recognition, spiritual value. Suffering has a spiritual value. Suffering is ripening of the soul. Do not run away from suffering. Accept suffering with equanimity as a blessing of grace, divine. They won't. If somebody dies during suffering, it's as per the prarabdha karma. The suffering is coming for spiritual evolution. If its death is written in the prarabdha karma, they'll die. Learning will happen in the next life. Next life, learning will start faster. No, the death itself is an illusion. What we call as death is not reality. Time is not reality. So their learning will start from next life. Probably Ramana Maharshi, it happened to Ramana Maharshi like that. It happened in case of Osho. Osho was doing enlightenment practice. Okay. So enlightenment practice, Osho, after he was born, he didn't take mother's milk for 7 days. As child, he was aware of this. Then Osho tells the reason for not taking mother's milk. In his last life, he was a Buddhist monk, and he was doing a meditation practice of 30 days of fasting. In 23 days, his body became weak and died in sadhana. So after child is born, he wanted to complete 7 days of sadhana. So death itself is not what something a spiritual seeker is afraid of. He continued sadhana after child is born. He did the fasting of mother's milk. Like that life is. Vamadeva Rishi was born enlightened because his sadhana was complete in early life. So Arjuna asked Krishna, What happened to Yoga Brishta? Krishna, you are telling me in the war practice yoga. At any point of time, it's a good time to start yoga. Even if you have become old or warfield, fine, start. But Krishna, in war, I can die anytime. What happened to me after I die? Sri Krishna says, nothing to be afraid. Whatever happens, even little bit of practice you have done, will take you to next life. It will continue. Yoga, Atmadnana, is a treasure which will never end. So, Swami Vidyaran is trying to tell in Jivanmukti Viveka, do not take Dana itself as primary. Dana, Vasanakshaya, Manonasha have to be taken together as a package. Atmano Mokshatam Jagadidaya has to be taken as a package rather than Atmano Moksha. I will only study Vedanta. I will realize it's not like that. You may realize, provided you have already done all Vasanakshaya earlier. So that's why in Vedanta there is a teaching. Teaching is for a very ripe seeker. He comes to the Guru and Guru gives him Tattvamasi Bodha. Then immediately he'll get enlightened and liberated. That's why it is called Shravana Matrena Mukti. Listening will lead to Mukti. So all our expectations rise. I'll teach Vedantic teaching, I'll get Mukti. I don't have to do anything now. No service, no Vasanakshaya, no Upasana, nothing. Aram se. Are you ripe soul? A ripe soul has ripened himself or herself through Upasana, Karma Yoga, and come to Jnana. No, I came to Jnana directly. Possible, because of your good karma has brought you Jnana. That doesn't mean that you have to drop Upasana and Vasanakshaya. They'll support your practices. That's why Atmanu Mokshatam Jagadidaya, never forget. It's a complete total package. So coming back to our presentation. The teaching is Jnanagni Dagda Karmani. The fire of knowledge burns everything. So a person has gone to Shubhecha, Vicharana, Tanumanasi, Sattopati, Asamasakti, Padartha Bhavani, Turiyaga. We speak of stage number 1 to 3, where Vasanakshaya, Manonashaya has to happen, and Atmadnana, Tattva has to happen to get Sattopati, self-realization. Then it is called Vividisha Sannyasa, then Kadesar Vidvat Sannyasa, where Manonasha and Vasanakshaya is done further. This we have heard in case of Yagnavalkya. Yagnavalkya was Vividisha Sannyasa, and then he takes Vidvat Sannyasa. I have told the story earlier. For the sake of memory, I'll tell again. Yagnavalkya was a great Gnani, he is considered Brahmadnani. He goes for, he decides one day that he will leave ashram. He has built a very big Gurukula, a lot of students are studying. Okay, he has done a lot of yadna. Then he says, I will go for sannyasa. So now, the question comes here, a person like Brahmadnani, like Yagnavalkya, why does he take sannyasa? Brahmadnani is called Vividisha Sannyasa. He is Nani. Now, why does he Vidvat Sannyasa he takes? This is a question. After Vividisha Sannyasa, Vidvat Sannyasa is required or not? Why it is required? For whom it is required? Is the question. So, Yagnavalkya case is a very typical example of Vividisha Sannyasa followed by Vidvat Sannyasa. So, there are many reasons, many angles we can visualize. First thing is, Jnanavalkya is putting a guideline to the society that Vividisha Sannyasa has to be followed by Vidvat Sannyasa. Yagnavalkya as a Brahmadnani, he wants to teach the society what is the sequence of enlightenment, liberation. Vividisha Sannyasa followed by Vidvat Sannyasa. He is also teaching society that as Grahastha, he has to do yadna, service. He did a lot of yadna. He built Gurukula, taught many people. So once his Grahastha life is over, instead of entering into Vanapastha, he enters to Sannyasa. Why? Here, he has become old to run a Gurukula. His students have taken over. Katyayani, his wife, is going to take over. Maitri wants to do sadhana. So he is becoming free from his social responsibility in yajna. Now he wants to sit at home, relax. Then it will put a bad guideline for society. A gnani can enjoy life, relax, not doing any work. So he says, instead of saying that, I'm taking sannyasa. That's one way of teaching society. So another way of teaching society is Vividisha sannyasa should be followed by Vidya sannyasa. So here, the meaning of Vividisha sannyasa should be clear. Vividisha sannyasa means Tattva-dnana, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa is done, and Atma Anatma Viveka, Nityanitya Viveka is done. Brahma-dnana has come. But for a person who has done sadhana earlier, upasana, karma yoga earlier, this is sufficient. He has already become Jivanmukta, listening to Jnana, Shastra Jnana. Person who has not done that, some vasanas are there, some mind is still active. He has to continue in the form of practices, Vasanakshaya and Manonasha. Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa, he has to add with the Manonasha and Vasanakshaya practices. That's the meaning of Vidya sannyasa. Not taking formal sannyasa, but I am speaking of with respect to practices. Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa, Seva, to continue Manonasha, Vasanakshaya with the Atmadnana. Okay. So this is Sri Vidyananda says, if somebody is very fortunate, he has come with the Shamadama, Trisha, Uparti, Shraddha, Samadhana, Mumukshatva, and comes to a guru, gets Shravana Matrena Mukti, Jivan Mukti. Somebody has incomplete background, then he has to continue into Manonasha, Vasanakshaya, with the Shravana Manana, Nididhyasa, continue. Now the question comes, what I have already understood Jnana. Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa I have done. I have understood Jnana. Now I will focus on Vasanakshaya. Will that work? All the three should continue together. How? See, Atmadnana has to go deep inside. I have listened, I have understood Tattva-masi Brahmadnana, but you should be in continuously Jnana Yadna. Our mind is tricky. Jnana Yadna should continue. That's what Vidyananda says. Jnana Yadna can continue in the form of teaching others, in the party of Jnana Yadna service, and Shravana Manana Nidhyasa, along with the Karma Yoga, Vasanakshaya, whatever is required, Manonasha, practice have to continue together. Jnana also has to continue together. No, I have already got Jnana, I don't need anything, I will focus on the Vasanakshaya. That is possible, but mostly what people do, they participate in Jnana Yadna. Whatever they know, they teach to others. They listen to teaching of higher beings. So that way, they are completely in the process of Atmana Moksha Jagataya all the time. When the enlightenment and liberation will happen, that's not their concern. Am I becoming more and more peaceful, more and more silent, day by day? More and more fire is going out. Fire means frequency, intensity, recovery rate of emotional disturbance coming down in my life. That's what they monitor. They continue. They won't focus on the get attached results. The sadhana they will do in the true spirit of Karma Yoga. So, example can be given. A train is there. The train driver just drives the train. He does not count the bogies. How many bogies are? I mean, he don't count the bogies, but he did not bother of bogies. All bogies are going behind the train. Whereas, ticket collector will go to each bogie. He is interested in bogie. This bogie number 1, bogie number 2, bogie number 3. Ticket collector. Is the difference in the attitude of both ticket collector and train driver? So, train driver represents the sadhana in totality. Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa, service, seva, totality. The train will move. Entire spiritual life will move. Whereas there are some people who will do, like a ticket collector, they'll go to first bogie, second bogie, I'll do some Vasanakshaya, I'll do Manonasha, like that they'll do. But when they do, Swami Vidyananda says, always keep in mind, they all come together. You may give importance to one, but keep the other two as a secondary. For example, you are focusing on Atmadnana, Keep Vasanakshaya and Manonakshaya in the background. Do it. If you are doing only Vasanakshaya, keep Dana in the background. Means primary and secondary focus. Do not, this is a complete package. This is the main teaching of Sri Vidyaranya. That's it. Dhanagni Dagda Karmani. The fire of knowledge burns all the karma. But some amount of maturity is required. Vasanakshaya, Manonakshaya has to happen for that to happen. Any questions for anybody?
The whole thing is designed in a sequence. We have karma kanda. That is how a jiva is.
So the karma, the whole thing is designed in a karma kanda, upasana kanda, jnana kanda. See, actually, you have to understand Vedic Gurukula is a schooling system. In schooling system, first standard is some subject you teach, second standard you teach some subject, third standard you teach some subject. A sequence is given. So similarly, in Veda Gurukula, Karma Yoga was taught. Upasana was taught. Preparing student for Chitta Shuddhi, purification. Then Brahmacharya is taught. That means living life for Brahman realization. So out of these three, a student with prominent some vasana, based on his vasana, will take grahastha ashrama, but he will practice other two. Primary and secondary.
You're talking about somebody inside a group. You're talking about jiva.
I'm saying jiva, that's what I'm saying.
It's all sequential.
I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. In jiva, it will happen sequentially, depending on his maturity level. Okay?
The maturity is built because of the sequence.
I'm saying, whatever is that. Ultimately, jiva may go through in some sequence. Some sadhaka may go through entire thing like a train. It's not fixed. Okay? For some people, like in my life, karma yoga, upasana, dhnana, everything became simultaneously. There's no sequence in that. Of course, I did something, but at some point, something became important and other became less important, but nothing, all of them together came together as a package. Some people can focus on something, then again do something else, again come back, like that they can do. It's on their capacity and ability. A person can focus on multiple things based on his purnayoga samskara. He can focus on multiple things simultaneously and move like a train. Some people can move like a ticket collector, coach by coach. But Swami Vidyananda is saying, Dhanagni Dagda Karmani, Dana will burn fire. But Vasanakshaya Manonasha, you should give importance. It should be considered as total package. Atmano Mokshartham Jagadidaya should be considered as total package. This is the message of Swami Vidyananda. Anybody has a question?
Guruji, it will go like train andralla. Kelordu goods train, kelordu Shatabdi train. Depends vasanas ashte.
Vande Bharatam also.
Ade. Vande Bharat, Shatabdi, goods train, passenger train, express train, adu ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಆಗಬಹುದು.
Yes. Yes, Purnima, any questions?
ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಪುಷ್ಪಕ ವಿಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೀವಿ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ.
Wow.
ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಇಂದ ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ವಿ.
ನೋ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್. ಗುರುಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಇದೀವಲ್ಲ.
It's a high flying. Yes, Narsimurthy, any questions? Did you understand what I'm trying to say? Message is clear?
Yes, Prabhuji, very much clear.
Atmanu Mokshartham Jagaditaya. Shravana Mana Nidyasa, Karma Yoga, Upasana is a package.
Yes,
That's what is the main message.
Prabhuji, I have one small question.
There are many people, right, who think I'm very intellectual. For me, studying Vedanta is more than sufficient. So this message is for those people. Life is a totality. Yes, Nashima.
Yeah, Prabhuji, this Vidvat Sannyasa, is it in line with the sannyasa in Chaturshram?
Sannyasi?
We have 4 ashramas, right?
Yeah, same, no? In
Same.
ashrama, first 4 ashrama, Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha. Third ashrama is for sannyasa. Sannyasa can be Vidvat sannyasa or Vividisha sannyasa or Vidvat sannyasa.
I had a confusion there. During Grihastha also, I think in one of the previous sessions you said you can be Vividisha sannyasa.
I'm saying sannyasa is of 2 types.
Yes.
Okay, Bahya sannyasa, Manasika sannyasa.
Yeah. Okay.
So a Grahastha or Brahmachari also can be Manasika sannyasi. Very evolved.
Yes.
This we are speaking of a formal sannyasa. Formal sannyasa is communication to society. You'll change your dress. Tomorrow, don't speak to me. Any marriage, don't invite me to any marriage or social function because I'm sannyasi. It's a communication. It's a social lifestyle change.
Yes.
Mentally, somebody can be grahastha or brahmachari also can be sannyasi.
Oh, okay, got it. Thank you.
So you should not confuse that mental and social status. Brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha, sannyasa, we are taking social status.
Yes.
Brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, sannyasa, we can take in mental status also.
Yes. Yes.
Mental status, nobody will know. Suppose a Nani comes into your house. How will you know? He will not change dress, he will not have a saffron dress, but he may be with Nani. How do you know? In fact,
Yes.
Nani will not have any external symbols at all.
Yeah.
He is higher than Devatas also, but you won't know. Right?
Dispassion itself leads to sannyasa.
No. Self-enquiry leads to sannyasa.
Vairagya.
Dispassion is byproduct. Atma
Yes.
vichara.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
So, any questions, Kumaran, Pubalan, Komari?
Hariom Prabhuji, no question, Prabhuji.
All clear. Which are you in a train or a compartment?
Super fast. Super fast train.
Super fast train. Very good. Okay, let us sit silently for a few minutes and then we'll close the session. Asatoma, Sadgamaya, Tamasoma, Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma, Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate, Purnasya, Purnamadaya, Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Nanembudu, Nanalla, Ideha, Manabuddhi, Nanalla, Sachidanandatma, Shivanannani, Shivoham, 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 Atmadarshanam, Brahmadarshanam, Brahmadarshanam, Satyadarshanam, अंतर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योति प्रत्यक ज्योति परात्परा ज्योतिरेव ज्योति स्वयं ज्योति आत्म ज्योति शिवोऽस्म्यहं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम rub both your ears both hands give warm to the eyes slowly open your eyes today we are closing this session at 11:45 I have a question answer session those who want to join a separate Zoom link will be sent. Hari Om everybody.